Whenever you're ready, Eric.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric, and the topic I'm going to be reviewing today involves organic foods. Her main claim was that organic foods are healthier for you than conventionally grown foods. She supported this claim with 3 secondary claims. Her first one said that the USDA refuses to state that organically grown foods are healthier than conventionally grown foods. They state that not enough research has been done to prove that this is true. Her second supporting claim was that organic farmers do not use any synthetic pesticides. And her final supporting claim said that organic foods have higher levels of nutrients compared to non-organic varieties. In her first claim, the advocate's reasoning is faulty. She states that because there is not enough information, the USDA cannot determine that the organic foods are healthier than conventional ones, but with future research that this can be proven. One cannot agree with this. The reason why is because the advocate fails to provide any type of evidence that would even suggest that there is any ongoing studies to prove this. In her second claim, the advocate states that because organic foods do not use pesticides in the production of the crops that are healthier, the advocate explained that organic means that it doesn't use any synthetic pesticides or growth hormones. And for example, instead of using herbicides to destroy weeds, organic farmers rotate crops, they till, and they even pull out weeds by hand. So this means that it takes an extensive amount of time to farm organically versus inorganically. And with time comes money. According to the Organic Trade Association, only about 3.7% of food sales are organic food sales. And I mean, there's an obvious reason why crop production is very much dependent on pesticides still. And even with the farmers using the pesticides, the advocates stated that the USDA does have standards for the maximum levels of pesticides residue that can be found on food products and still be safe. But there may be potential long-term effects. Once again, the advocate fails to demonstrate any sign that these effects may even exist. In her third claim, the advocate stated that organic foods have a higher level of certain nutrients compared to non-organic varieties. I will have to deny this statement. The reason why is because the advocate fails to provide a reliable source from which she can get these facts from. Therefore, we cannot conclude that they are in fact healthier than conventional ones. So in conclusion, organic foods cannot be proven that they are healthier for you than conventional foods as of right now. Thank you.
All right, Eric. You keep everything at a pretty straightforward level. All the secondary points are labeled, and you have a simple explanation for each of those points. Your explanations are reasonable challenges to be making, with the one exception that it seems like it's the kind of challenge that you could have made without having 2 weeks preparation, where you could, in essence, right after the advocate spoke, stand up and say, well, there wasn't any evidence cited here, or the evidence that they did cite did not come from a source that was identified. And that's basically your only challenge to their reasoning or the way they've advanced their claim. I think it might behoove you to have a couple of pieces of counterclaim on a couple of the points. For example, the one on the safety of the organic pesticides the safety of foods that are exposed to chemical pesticides. It seems to me that there's a lot of information that talks about how the FDA applies the standards that you mentioned and the advocate mentioned also, and that there might be some numerical data that shows that the likelihood of people getting sick from any of this is relatively small. Also, the same sort of thing with the nutritional value. There's not any demonstration that the extra nutrients that are supposedly found in these foods, which have yet to be proven, but which we expect to get evidence on someday, that would make a difference in anybody's health or lifestyle, for instance. I mean, a simple analogy or a hypothetical example might work on this one. I don't know, if I'm taking a vitamin C that has 10% more of the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C in it, am I really healthier? Is it better for me as a consequence? That's the equivalent of what this organic food is. They've got, 3% more of vitamin X or whatever it happens to be, but does that make it somebody who consumes this healthier? Only if they would consume it in appropriate proportions, and we don't have any evidence on that. And in fact, here's good evidence that shows that people fail to meet their nutritional requirements, whether the food is organic or non-organic. I mean, just a couple of extra issues, something that could be developed a little bit more. I think you found all the right presses to make in kind of a casual argument that you would make in the circumstances where you were, but if you want to have a stronger response, you need to make some affirmative arguments on your own behalf to kind of challenge that a little more. All right, thank you.